I watched him take everything from me, and I smiled while planning how to ruin his life. That was the first thought that ran through my head the night I left. I'm Evelyn Carter, and what most people call revenge, I call patience shaped into precision. It all began when my brother Daniel betrayed me. Not in a small, petty way. No, he sold the family's art gallery, the one place my mother had built from scratch, the place that had kept us afloat after Dad died, to a man who didn't care, someone he called a friend. And he smiled while doing it, as if pride justified every lie. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I didn't retaliate. I disappeared. People think that walking away is weakness, but I know it's the opposite. It's observation, it's strategy. For years, I watched him. I followed every move he made, how he spent money, who he trusted, the corners he cut, the mistakes he didn't think anyone saw. And slowly, carefully, I learned how to use them against him. By the time I returned, I wasn't the naive girl who had trusted him. I was a shadow, unseen, unnoticed, dangerous. I joined the gallery as an assistant, quiet, competent, invisible. No one suspected me, not even him. Daniel assumed I had accepted defeat, that I had moved on, that I had forgotten. But I hadn't forgotten. I watched him charm investors at a charity auction. I watched him boast about his new acquisitions. I watched him laugh in that smug way he thought only he was allowed to. And then I smiled. It wasn't the kind of smile that promises violence. No, it was the kind that promises consequence. I approached him that night, careful, calm, polite. "Are you sure it's safe? Building a life on lies," I whispered, loud enough only for him to hear. He froze. I could see the uncertainty flicker across his face for the first time in years. That was my opening. Over the next months, I set things in motion, little things at first. I leaked financial irregularities to the wrong people, nudged employees to ask questions they hadn't dared before, and created subtle, untraceable pressure points. Daniel started noticing, of course, subtle glances, quick phone calls, strange meetings, but by then it was too late. He didn't know I was behind any of it. He didn't suspect me. I studied him the way a predator studies prey, learned his routines, his weaknesses, the things he thought no one could touch. And the more I watched, the more I realized people underestimate women and revenge stories. They think emotions cloud judgment. They think patience is weakness. They are wrong. Months turned into a year, and then came the night of the gallery's anniversary party. Daniel walked in confident as ever, surrounded by admirers, investors, and colleagues. He didn't recognize me at first. I looked different, older, sharper, calm, but my eyes gave me away. I approached him as though I belonged there, as though I had always belonged there. And I whispered again, soft and cold, "Do you think anyone notices the cracks in your empire?" He laughed, dismissive. I didn't laugh back. Weeks later, it began to unravel. Evidence I had quietly gathered, delivered anonymously to auditors and regulators, began to show. Bank accounts froze. Partners demanded explanations. Employees quit. Every little lie he had told to protect himself now exposed him like an open wound. I could have celebrated. I could have screamed in triumph. I could have humiliated him publicly. But I didn't. I let him live with it. I let him see the slow collapse of everything he had stolen, built, and destroyed. That was my art. That was my revenge. When he finally called me, voice trembling, asking what I wanted, I looked him in the eye. "I want you to understand betrayal. I want you to feel what it is like to lose everything you built on lies, and I want you to know that I never forgot," I said calmly. That moment wasn't about power. It wasn't about anger. It was about justice. By the time it was over, our gallery was back in the family. Daniel, he was ruined, not by violence, not by chaos, but by truth and patience, the two things he had mocked most. And me? I walked away, quiet, calm, collected. Because true power isn't about showing everyone you're strong. It's about being strong enough that they never see you coming. Some wounds scream, some whisper, some lie hidden, waiting. And the smartest revenge, it whispers and lands exactly where it hurts the most.